So we're gonna go live because I have to do a lot of office stuff. We have to do a lot of office cleaning. What do they call it? Back office cleaning, whatever. So let me give you an update. Apparently, my house got hit by lightning. You guys think I'm just angry for no reason? Like I'm genetically born this way? And no, bad things happen, and I get pissed off. Now, already living in the United States, not you people, not you. You guys are my friends. You're, again, as I say, you're my team. I'm not talking about you people, but I'm sure you're aware of people, not our team, not us. The fat, disgusting American wandering buffalo pigs who slow and going all the way back to little old 5-year-old Cappy. Remember when you were 5, you went to school? This is assuming your parents had their shit together. This is assuming they weren't at each other's throats. But let's just say you had the magical, mythical June and Ward Cleaver parents that we all make fun of. And you get to school. You get to kindergarten. Right off the bat, man, you're 5 years old, and the society starts beating the shit out of you. Starts beating you over the head with whatever political, religious, Marxist, feminist, whatever it is. Could have been Christianity, right-wingism. You're the world's bitch right off the bat in the United States. If there's one thing I hate, I hate a lot of things about the United States. I love a lot of things about it too. But it's just how your fucking children are just assets. Like you're the fucking CIA and use them as assets, as leverage to advance your fucking cause. So starting at 5, 43 years later, dealing with all the cocksucking motherfucking assholes in this country who fucking lie to you about reality, religion, politics, your career. Go to college, follow hard, mine will follow. I don't know if the millennials might be siding with me on this one. To now more modernly, where no one can take a shit without a government check or some YouTube and tutorial because you're all so fucking stupid. And now, after busting my ass off, getting my house up, a heroic, a miraculous, a Herculean achievement. I'm being serious about that. The only thing I've done more in my past than getting this house up and running, like to perfection, to being completely completed, has been college. That was a 4-year endeavor. And you guys have known about me, the dream, the theory that there's a limited amount of projects to do on a house. That, and once you get there, you will change cruising, no different than a plane. You got to fight gravity, get up into the cruising speed, right amount of air mixture, get just a lot of work takes to get up there. And I believe that there is a point, because there is. I've owned houses before. There is. And this house is actually no different. Just a little bit more land, a little bit more landscaping. And man, we're talking. Let me tell you how on top I am. I got a deck. You need railing on your deck, so idiots, not us, not my team, the stupid sister fucking Americans with their liberal arts degrees, those fuckwits, those are the ones that need railings or they fall up. Plus, you want to have something to lean on. And apparently spiders like making nests out there. So the railings are metal. I've even treated those with an anti-rust spray and then an extra layer of Rust-Oleum so that it doesn't decay or rust or oxidize against the sun. Like, that's how. And then, okay, Cappy comes back. We finally get some rain. Find out, oh, wait, there's water pooling in little different places. Is it mission critical? No, it's not, BC. Unlike your typical fat, you guys know come on a psychological journey with me, if you will. Imagine your stereotypical suburbanite douchebag. Okay? You guys, and ladies, I want you to come with me on this journey in particular, because this is what you end up marrying and fucking semi-annually, because he's a fat, disgusting pig. Your typical stereotypical suburbanite male douchebag. All right. Now, could be suburbanite, you think white. Let's not relegate it to that. Let's open up to diversity because this could be anyone, typically white. Imagine Minnesotan, but here he is. He's let himself go. He's got his gut. The gut is about to, not yet, but about to. If there's one more cell that splits on his gut, it will dip below his shirt. You'll be able to see his gut, but right now you cannot. It is as far as it could go without you being able to see it. He's watering the grass. This is as much work as he does. He's got his job. And let's also be fair, ladies. You had him pay off your student loan debt for your worthless joke of a fucking degree, a laughably stupid degree. Both of you are guilty of this. You both needed things. You both needed an SUV. You both needed whatever. And you need a McMansion in the McSuburbs for your 2 kids. If you have 2 kids, you needed a 5-bedroom house for that. Right? So you're both up against the ropes financially. You're playing the high school game, like a middle school game where you're still trying to be popular. And I ask unto you, I ask unto you, for all you girls out there either married to this fat piece of shit, or for those of you ladies who aren't, but you know the exact type I'm talking, and for you guys, I'm trying to teach a lesson to. How many projects, critical ones included, are at that house that guy has yet to do and will never do until they sell the house, which would then consequently have an effect on the resale value. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the shit that has to get done that gnaws at you. Not the Northern Command. Nope. There's not one thing at this house that needs to be done. Not one. I have the railings sprayed. I got storage above in the garage. I got my tool chest coming in. I even have my tools already organized where I just got to place it into the tool chest once it's delivered, once I pick it up. All the vehicles have fresh oil change. That is how on top. And I argue this is a higher standard of living than any of you rich assholes, whether you borrow the money or not, whether you actually got the money or not, because you got your projects. You got your projects. You got to work on this. You got to work on that. Like, it will never end. And you will be a slave for the rest of your life, psychologically and physically, even emotionally, because your wife is going to get sand in her hoo-ha because you didn't do that. Done. D-U-N. Now, that day was achieved. That day, I even scotch guarded the outdoor sitting furniture or the folding chairs. Like, because the sun beats up. No sun, no bleaching in Cappy's folding chairs. That's how done. July 12th was the landscaped. Put the last bit of gravel, 7 yards of gravel. For those of you who have, speaking of Mexicans, Atham, you know what 7 yards of gravel is, right? I take pictures of the landscape that I was doing, and I texted to Atham and Chad and the kid. And I say, sad day when the white man has to do a Mexican's job. And Miguel at Dollar Cost Crypto, he's Mexican, and he did do landscaping. And I'm like, hey, take a look at my retaining walls. Oh, yeah. It's like, there's some professionalism there. Why am I doing this? Where the hell is Anthem? Oh, but I got the drainage. Put down heavy gauge pool liner, pond liner thickness. I think it was 8 mil pond liner. So the water, right, it doesn't buckle, doesn't freeze, melt in spring, protecting the foundation of the house that fat yard watering fucking Edina doesn't know anything about. Now, you girls aren't turned on by any of this because you yourselves don't know how much care and infrastructural protecting and investing and work goes. You just think, well, the guys who want to insert their dick inside me do it for free for me, and then things just work. Then the toilet flushes. I'm gonna go get a master's in journalism. La 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 la. Why isn't the electricity working? All of it, the landscaping, the water, the rain came down. I looked, it's all flowing right where I had it flow. I'm like, look at me. I didn't even go to landscaping school. I did this with the University of YouTube, which would replace all teachers and professors, and we'd all be better off and a lot richer for it. Like, it is finished. It is finished. Every freaking Easter had to hear that. Again? I thought it was finished last spring. It's finished again. All right. Thought the guy would have finished it once, but we're going to do it. We're going to remind us every year, apparently. And Cappy kicked up his seat. He's like, Cappy, no. And I was like, guys, now, Cappy, now we can push in the clutch, shift gears, and now we are at cruising speed. Fucking house gets hit by lightning. And if I didn't have internet troubles before, I have had for the past week and a half. Because apparently lightning F's up everything. I need a new oven. The solar panels are after. The batteries are after. The solar panels, I guess, are fine. Oh, don't get me started about dealing with the plants, the American plants, the NPCs, when you got to go and get the insurance to come and take a visit. And that's a whole other story. But just imagine dealing with your average American, your average Perkins worker. You know, they got spoons. They're playing this happens at Perkins. They play shove spoon. How many spoons up your ass can you shove? That's what they play at Perkins. It's probably the same thing in insurance. And like they got the wrong case number. All right. And right now, see, I'm hang on. There we go. See what I'm talking about? You see what I'm like? Oh, God. What are you going to do, Jonathan? I'm going to kill them all. All right. Looks like we're back now. So, dealing with all that and having to go through and test everything. Wires are shot. I had to redo the computer system. That's why this looks a little different. I'm doing it from a laptop. And to this day, just now I found out, like, okay, apparently the router and the internet still blanks out every once in a while. Apparently it's going to shit the bed. That's just the new normal, guys. Do you remember the days as time went on, technology improved and things got better? Not now. You're in interesting times now. We gotta promote Shaniqua, not hire the best guy or gal to make the internet work. No, we need diversity and inclusion. Forget profits and efficiency. Already, I'm getting the warning sign from the internet. So I have spent the past week getting new computers, getting new wires. Those are the two main things. And then my IT guy comes out. I am on my third router in 1 week. And so far, it's been 12 hours. We haven't had to get a new one. It was so bad. See, I'm on my 6th router for this house because I don't know what my IT guy does. He keeps bringing in these routers. But I'm going to tell you one thing we found out. One thing we found out about all the routers. They're all Netgear. Guys, please, for the headache Netgear the company has caused me, will you please vow to never get a Netgear router ever again? Just please. Oh, they're crap routers too. Don't get me wrong. Oh, it's got the Nighthawk server exchange. We added extra protective security because I'm online trying to troubleshoot a Netgear router. My IT guy says, well, hey, those Netgear routers, they got 2 buttons up front. What are they for? Because just stupid old white guy Cappy over here. I'm going to assume other guys as well. We want to plug in our router, mobile modem router. We want to plug in where the internet comes in into the input. We want to plug in our wires that wire out to the hardwire, and we want the wireless to work. That's all we want. Apparently, they decided to put 2 new buttons up front. Why? I don't know what they do. But my IT guy says, oh, yeah, if you accidentally bump that one button, it'll turn it off. Oh, good. 2 added buttons that do absolutely nothing that a regular router couldn't have done beforehand for added functionality. So Karen the Quanta can say little more buttons. Master's degree. So I press the buttons. Still not working. So not only do we have this added functionality that just makes things worse, even pressing the buttons doesn't work. He comes in with another Netgear router. There's the 2 new buttons. Plug it in. Says this should work. Last 4 hours. He knew. He's like, here's another crappy router. Use this in case this one. But I'm like, okay, good. Thanks. Plug it in. So far, it's worked. I think it's D-Link. There's no magic buttons. Karen and her cabal of marketing consultant women didn't come in. You know what we need more? Absolutely nothing, you fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up and leave it the fuck alone. It's working just fucking fine. No, we have to improve it. But still, it keeps blanking out. We keep dying out. So that's this whole. So I'm in a bad fucking mood. No, it's not me. It's not my genetics. It's life. It's the incompetent fucking America. Wait till I deal with insurance. Just wait. Just wait for insurance. They wanted me to save all the electronic equipment so they could perform an autopsy, I guess. So I got this old, well, not old TV, a busted TV. My Xbox is shot. I lost a desktop and a mini computer. I'm like, okay, send the people out. Waiting. When you gonna send them out, so I can get rid of this junk. So the 12th, I think I had 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 before the lightning hit. It hit the tower too, but that was repaired. I'm like, why isn't my house working? It looks like you got hit by electricity. Oh, I had 5 days, guys. 5 days, 5 fucking days. And I don't really believe in God. I'm agnostic, of course. But it really, me and DT talked about this, like the amount of bad luck is so statistically unlikely that it really makes me want to believe there is a God. And if I do believe a God, oh, he's my fucking enemy. He's a fucking dick. A fucking dick. He's not the loving God. He is a fucking dick. I will go fucking join the brigades of Lucifer if I have to. Because so far, Lucifer's like, hey, here's some drugs. Here's some rock and roll. Here's some pussy. Here's some booze. Here's some risk. Here's some consequences. What? Never really lied to you about that. So there. Now, we have an email. We're going to go through the emails today. Jamie sent me the one about, what did you send me, Jamie? You sent me some term. I forgot what it was. You sent me some term. Oh, before I get on to like the fun, happy stuff, so I thought Asshole Consulting had like email slowdown or something was wrong with my email. No, it turned out it was fine. I think there's recession on. It's just like we're at about 2/3, about half. I was like, oh, things are slowing. Maybe people are on vacation. I don't know what. As time has gone on, it's like playing Dungeons and Dragons. There was a time, if you could believe it, you get a group of nerds together, you get some Mountain Dew or Tahitian treat, you get 2 pizzas, and you could have 10, 12 hours of good Dungeons and Dragons playing. And now we can't have that because as time has gone on, each successive younger generation that is born is less and less mentally stable. Now, this is showing up 10 years ago. 10 years ago, ASO Consulting, when it started, pretty simple. We just moving and chumming. Man, do I get some spectastic questions. I really get I get some drug-induced spectastic questions from you guys. And just so you know, the prices only go up. And then you don't pay. Why? Because you're spectastic. You have mom and dad pay for everything. You're an idiot. Your dad never spanked you. No one ever disciplined you. You think it's a mental disorder. No, you're just a spoiled, rotten piece of shit kid that never had the shit kicked out of him. Then you come to my door like, I got some problems. Yeah, your dad was a pussy and your mom was a whore. I got the mental disorder. And then you barf out and you never get to the point. Maybe you're high, maybe you're drunk. I don't know. Prices go up. Get to the motherfucking point. You worthless pieces of shit that you play on the railroad tracks. Okay? I get these emails now. Meandering. One guy, a boomer, in defense of it was a boomer. He's like 60-some years old. Just bragging for pages. And I'm waiting for a question to come around. What you think? I respond, so what's your question? Then this dipshit responds with like 110 font size. Because I don't know, he's got Parkinson's. I have no idea. It was one of the weirder, And you ever try to read an email that's 110 font when your screen's only yay big on the phone? Delete. So you autists, the fake ones, okay, the fake ones, not people with actual Asperger's or autism, not the actual people who suffer a mental disorder, not you guys. I'm talking you spoiled little quantahahas from the suburb that had everything just handed to you, and we don't spank if daddy's not around. Here's your new dad. Here's T-Rash, your new dad. Oh, you're mental ill. You're not doing well in school. Oh, you must have a disease. Oh, it's autism. Not that you have nothing but female, anti-male, feminist, man-hating teachers that hate little boys. No, that's not it. You have a disease. And unfair as that is to you young men out there, you're still not brought up right. And I don't know what it is with that background or upbringing, but man, you guys never get to the point. You never get to, I guess, being brought up by a bunch of women. Yeah, probably. That might be it. Blah, 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 blah. See, we have longer life expectancies. We don't even think like that. We just live forever. And we not like, there's no urgency or anything. We're just, I'm going to do all my dreams and save the planet. Oh my God, everybody loves me. I'm so amazing. Self-love. I can see with that mentality. There's no urgency in your life. You don't have to get to a job. Government lends you all this money, and you're just, you're just this amazing person. The concept of you being mortal or finite never dawns on you, and therefore you just blah, 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 blah. And if you're a young boy, unfortunate enough to be brought up in this environment, you too. Then I hit you up with $100 quote. You're like, whoa, wait a second. $100 of obviously not my money. Somebody else is giving me my money because I don't work for my own money. It comes from the government or my parents or whatever. $100 of not my money? Hold on. That sure is a lot of chicken tendies. Meanwhile, I'm testing HDMI cables and you dipshits are jerking off the porn. I don't know where I am in life. I'm in trouble with the girls. What do I do? Play on the train tracks. I heard the girls are over there by Northern Burlington. I think they're on the Santa Fe rails. Go pull you. That's where the girls are. So close, guys. So close. I had a friend visit my hiking buddy from Vegas, and it was a very interesting juxtaposition where I get up and the entire morning because it gets hot out, and only one of my vehicles has air conditioning. So like, well, we better run the errands now. And it was just work. Half the time it was work. And then say, oh, okay, let's go hiking up in the mountains where it's cooler because the temperatures are colder the higher up you go. Oh, and it just then you go and you have it, and then it's like you get back and like, oh, this isn't working. The router shit the bed again. And I think finally the girlfriend realized, oh shit, this is a lot of bad luck. No wonder he's pissed off all the time. It's so bad, even a woman could see it. Oh my God. Here, see exactly. Oh, I gotta talk. Hang on. I actually do have to take this. Hang on. Speak of the devil, it was the appliance company repair people. They're gonna come in here and fix my oven. Huh? That oven was about 2 years old, huh? Now it's now we gotta repair it. I don't use it. But yes, this is it's just kinda so close. It's like Moses in the desert. There's the promised land. You effed around. You don't get to go to the promised land. I paid attention in Bible school. And so now there will be a third fucking day that when everything is said and done, Lord knows how long it's going to be until the solar panels are back up and running. Lord knows. But when everything is finally fixed and we are back to the play day that I was on the 12th, I will have a third holiday. It will still be the same holiday, it'll just have a third date now. I will only celebrate the laser. It's like, okay, now everything's done. And swear to fucking Christ, if there's fucking hail, a tornado, a fire, a nuclear strike, or just a bunch of old people that move in and fart in the street, I'm done. I'm done selling the fucking place and I'm leaving. I'm gonna go some fucking Asian joint. I'm gonna wander. I'm gonna wander like Joker or Kane. I'm gonna wander because I'm done. I'm done with the morons in this country and the bad fucking luck. I'm fucking done with it. Because the irony, I guess it's like having like one of the older Ferraris, like they were great to look at, but they always broke down. No. It's just making me angry. And this is not absurd. I don't have an over-engineered, overly complicated life. And I appreciate you guys being here. I'd love to deliver reliable internet podcast. Can't do it. Maybe I should just do that. Like what? Romania's got the best internet. Just gonna find a fucking hut right next to the relay station for the internet. However, the spine of the internet, I'm gonna plug directly in. I'm like, hey, motherfuckers, what's going on? Having another cup of borscht today, but I'm much happier because there's no fucking bullshit. Oh, yeah. What's going on? I guess let's go through it. Yeah. The Carlson School of Management, along with the University of Minnesota, just like everybody else, is emailing you like, hey, you want to make a donation to the Carlson School, trust fund or whatever, the student? I'm like, no, absolutely not. We'll get to that. But I guess let's go through the super chats. My truth, $2, angry for no reason. They think it's no real. People really think I got a mental problem. Like, why are you so angry? Bitch, were you going to give me some fucking food when I was starving? No. Man, I had this one girl. I had multiple girlfriends, but this one in particular just had life just served up to her on a T-ball. Wasn't even a one over the plate. It's just T-ball. Why are you so angry? Hey, You mind giving me a job at the company you work for that your fucking grandfather founded? You mind that? I don't know if you okay, thanks. I'm going to be pissed off and poor. I got it, man. Let me ask black dudes and Latinos to a lesser extent, but I guess it goes for any poor people. Do people not get that? Like, you're poor. Forget the Democrat and the what. I understand, and then that's where the assistants come in. But I don't know if people really get like, look, lady, we don't have air conditioning because my mom keeps spitting out half brothers and half sisters with the newest, latest T rash. And even with all the preponderance of welfare and assistance, we ain't got no air conditioning on the south side of Chicago in July. God almighty. I'm just angry for no reason. They're just mentally divergent. Take a chill. Oh, in the 90s? Oh, would I masturbate to that fantasy if I could get a time machine and there's young Aaron and young Gen X asshole having conversation. And the Gen X asshole who had everything handed to him on a silver platter says, you need to take a chill pill. And then old Aaron would come in with 100-yard dash down and just punch that fucker right across the face. The nanosecond he finished, like, chill pill. And there'd be young Aaron looking at old Aaron and like, I'm from the future, young Aaron. And your instincts were right. You should have punched that motherfucker. Now I got a 100-yard start. I think their neck is broken. Let's get out of here. Oh, wait, I'm going to go back to the future. There's no, my DNA would be on their face. I have to rethink this through. Oh, just chill. Just chill. Had one girlfriend, like, I'd call her once a week, even though she lived on the same campus. We'd maybe go out once every 2 weeks. What do you see me for? Is Dad going to give me some money? You going to give me some food? Wisco Nomad, $2. Everything in Wisconsin revolves around booze. Sick of it. Yeah, well, that's most of the United States, too. Public news is $2. Rich Cooper used Enjoy the Decline when interviewing Danica Patrick. Oh, we got Danica Patrick on? And they did a segment on it. He did not give you credit for coming up with it. He mentioned it, right? I think it's kind of, if I say the rational male, I don't have to say bye Rollo Tomasi. Yeah, I guess you guys kind of. Christoph Anon, $2. Yo, internet here in Hicks Central works fine. Yeah, I know. It's just, look, it's not my fault. I'm done. God, man, I'm like, so picked the wrong time not to stop drinking. But you know what? Maybe no time was the time to stop drinking. Maybe I should have just been, maybe because I'm not as happy as I was when I was drinking. I'll tell you that right now. Hypothesis intent. What happened to the episode with Pop last week? Pop said the C word. Look, we all love Pop. I love Pop. But it's just another like, okay, somebody fucked up. You could say fuck on YouTube. But you can't. There's just a handful of words you can't say. And he said one of them. Now I'm labored with 5 minutes extra work where, okay, I got to download it when I can. Now I got to delete it. And I got to tell the client, hey, did you watch it? Because here it is. I get why Rich Cooper charges whatever $3,000 for a one-on-one consultation. I get it now. Ass Bucket, $2. Went to Chipotle Friday. They're out of tortillas. Exactly. Thank you, Ass Bucket. This isn't me. Sonic out of ice cream. Perkins out of French silk pie. Chipotle out of tortillas. People are getting dumber, lazier, and slower. That's not a funny ha-ha. I'm not trying to be edgy. It is a simple, realistic observation. It's true. And further and further away we get from 100% efficiency, you can expect lower and lower standards of living. I don't care how much money you print off. If you got all the welfare and Social Security and military disability checks because you had yourself a little sliver in your finger and you got 25% disability, all that money in the world, if the restaurant ain't open, you ain't getting the food. If they're out of gas, they're out of gas. And if they're out of ice cream, they're out of ice cream. You are seeing like a kind of, I don't want to say early stages of communism, but cracks, little little examples of communism happening where you got all the money in the world, but nothing to buy it with. What's the deal? Ass bucket, $2. Get an Asus router. I've had mine for years. Okay, I'm in the market. So far, the D-Link is working. So far. Why it keeps coming in and out, I don't know. I'm going to have to start troubleshooting the next stage from out of my house. Because obviously the engineers and the other people don't know what they're doing. Chunky Gecko, $2. Cappy, have you tried Starlink? Not perfect, but it I have a friend who uses it way the F out in the Black Hills. And he says it's good enough, but not like for what I do. I mean, again, this is just as good as Cox Internet in Vegas. Guys, it isn't the technology. It isn't. It is the people. It is the people. For example, Verizon. All right. I don't know if you heard of this place called Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a relatively populated place. A couple million people even live there. I know. Crazy. You might have heard of it. You know, Verizon doesn't have enough cell towers for all the contracts it sold to Vegas. But you can have 5G, but you're waiting as if it's an African country. And I keep saying we are going to devolve into a second and ultimately a third world country where there's just not going to be electricity. Verizon is just ahead of this. I don't know how they can even sell contracts at Verizon. I have no idea. No idea. But that's not the individual's fault. That's just Verizon. It's the network's fault. Cox Communication, probably the same thing. They didn't invest enough infrastructure because some cocksucker CEO needed to spend $100 million so we have excellent service that we could arguably charge more for, and in the long term make more profit, or just pay myself an extra $100 million and give everyone shitty service. Oh man, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be Disney. I'm going to just shit all over our product. Oh, I don't know why. It must be all the racist, sexist white men that don't like our product. Public nuisance. Is Wisconsin Dells worth visiting or overrated? Visit it in September, early September, because then all the kids are gone. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. If you like water parks, yeah, it's fun. But I do a day, and you're done. Wisco Nomad, $2. What are your thoughts on Pearl Davis? She has treated me with nothing but kindness and professionalism. I haven't watched a lot of her shows. I watched a couple here and there. A while ago, she wanted me to come on her show, and I'm sure she's busy. But I try to stay out of this. OMG, did you see such and such said so and so? And yeah, Pearl. I have nothing against Pearl, nothing. And she's been nice to me. It's like a lot of guys like giving George Bruno shit. Bruno has been nothing but the kindest man to me, and I can't unless you do some absolutely vile and wrong to a friend of mine. Then, I was like, no, these people are all kind to me, all very friendly. My truth, $5. With you living under a tornado lightning alley. I'm not in tornado alley. We're actually very lowly rated because I'm within the hills. I'm surprised your building grounding rod didn't dissipate lightning along with surge protectors. Dude, you thought surge protect. Yeah, that's what I thought too. They worked half the time. But now we got like the super whatever, 1,800 joule surge protectors. Spent over $100 on surge protectors. I don't know if I'm going to get so my Xbox 360 or my Xbox One is gone. And I'm at a paradox where the consoles are shit. They're just shit. I got my Switch, but the Switch doesn't have the Hogwarts Legacy that I really wanted to play. It doesn't have the capacity to handle new games. I would like to play some of these new games, but okay, yeah, insurance is going to cover most of it. I got a 2,500 deductible. Hey, guess where all the super chats are going? Surge protectors and insurance deductible. What fucking fun! Could you imagine the day where I'd say, hey, I'm going to go buy gas for my motorcycle, ride around and have fun? Could you imagine that? Buying gravel and shovels and surge protectors again. Yeah, so there's I got the super surge protectors this time, and I'm gonna get a lightning rod system. One of these days, I might be able to go have some fucking fun. Aaron, do you like fishing? I do, but I have a mixed relationship with fishing. I'm not a big animal rights person, but I like if you catch and release. I always thought, boy, that's kind of traumatic to the fish. And if I'm gonna fish, I want to capture them and fillet them, but I don't want to put them in a bucket where they inevitably die of starvation with the other fish I catch. So I found a humane way on the internet to kill them. You just take a cheap bottle of Gordon's vodka, you get them drunk, and then you kill them. But that's a lot of work just to go get some food. And I don't know. You got to carry your fishing gear out there. You got to bring the fish back. You got to fillet them. It's just a lot of work for it's a lot of work for a fair amount of enjoyment. I'll grant you that. But maybe I'd take my nieces fishing. I think I'd do that because I'd enjoy seeing them fish more than just me. Okay, I got to kill this thing and we got to fillet it. And a lot of maintenance. And I need to fucking chill. I need a fucking 2-week fucking vacation. I know I took 3 days. I need 2 weeks of doing nothing but eating like a pig, sitting on my ass, watching spaghetti westerns, playing poker. Not even hiking. Oh, I did get some hiking in this week, though. A lot of hiking. I haven't seen the gym in any consistent level for at least a month. At least a month. But yeah, fishing, I probably won't do that. My truth, $5, the king. Please tell me you have at least 2 ground-in rods straddling your house. You are a web entrepreneur. Entire cost of job broadcasting expendable. Expensible. Yes, it is. No, I don't have that. We'll be getting it. We'll be getting it. I will talk to my electrician buddy, and I'm thinking about doing it myself because I don't think it'll be that difficult, but he can maybe like help me a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to make sure this doesn't ever happen again. But then it'll be a tornado in a very least likely place to happen. Like, okay, there is a guy and he's a dick. I'm going to join the cult of Satanism and I'm moving. Lauer, 57, nothing to say, I said. Thank you for the $5 anyway, Lauer. Christoph Anon, $2. Fix for a lightning strike is replace everything. Yeah, you're right about that. You are right. That's more or less what we had to do. Wisco Nomad, $2. What? Oh, we already got that. We're slowly catching up. Christoph Anon, $2. Russia calls a no bullcrap country, no woke. I've thought about Siberia or like that far eastern side by Vladivostok and whatever. I'm not kidding. Something remote, not Western, definitely not American. I want to see thin people dressed appropriately in public. Dubai, a lot of people, oh, you like Dubai. I'm like, yeah, it's got to be hotter than blazes. Hotter than blazes. But okay, you don't have to be there in summer. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Atham, $5. You need to go to see a Peruvian shaman or something, have cleansing done. Your bad luck is hilarious because it actually is observable. Like it's bad luck. It's what it is. Atham believes my house is haunted. He actually believes my house is haunted. They had some experiences here. It's like, no, it's just then it would have started at the house. I've had bad luck before the house. No, what was me? I have bad luck. No, I've had bad luck. Bad things have happened outside the statistical thing that normally happens. A good old suburbanite white folk in America from the 80s. Oh my goodness, we got Nikes. Oh, ha ha ha. You don't have your Cavarishi pants? Oh my goodness, you're so bad. The one good story about this is the people who were brought up under those falsehoods and just things that aren't reality based. They have now paying the consequences. Oh, here we go. Oh, their lives suck. So, as you also, Atham, have come through a horrible background, that makes you appreciate what you have today. Internet again. Hang on, guys. So it is nice watching these people fail. Robert, $10, nothing but a kind $10. Thank you, Robert. And Nick Crocodilus, €5. You think you have it bad? Try living in Eastern European shithole that, unlike the rest, never got the chance to demystify Marxism in regards to Greece. Weren't you guys part of the West at one time? I mean, the past, what, 15, 20 years you went hard left? Were you ever considered Eastern Europe? I know physically you're Eastern Europe, but I always thought Greece was part of the West. Like you're part of Western Europe. You weren't part of the. Oh, wait, Tito was a communist, wasn't he? I'd have to double check my history of Greece, modern history. That's right, Grand Marshal Tito. So, Jamie writes, last time I introduced you to a wonderful concept called mewing. Today I'll enlighten you and let you know about executive dysfunction, which is basically a fancy term for being lazy. All right, here we go. Let's look up executive dysfunction. Executive. Here it is. Executive dysfunction. Is this a real thing? The Cleveland Clinic. Oh, the Cleveland Clinic. This is so real. Executive dysfunction is a behavioral system that disrupts a person's ability to manage their own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's most common with certain mental health conditions, especially addictions, behavioral disorders, brain development disorders, and mood disorders. What are executive functions? Okay. I thought it had something to do with like rich people. Oh, let me clear that out. Sorry, people. I thought it had to do with like executives being exhausted. That's not what it is. To better understand what executive dysfunction is, it helps to know more about executive functions. The main executive functions are working memory, cognitive flexibility, inhibition control. Look, aren't there enough made up mental illnesses or real mental illnesses that you can all fake to claim to have that you don't need a new one just to excuse your laziness and you being a worthless human being? Do you need another one? Working memory is the kind of memory that involves whatever you're doing right now. If you're reading, taking notes, or having a conversation, then your working memory is part of the process. Cognitive flexibility, also known as fluid or flexible thinking. This refers to how well your brain can shift and move from one topic to another. The more flexible you're thinking, the better you can adapt to whether it's happening around you. This inhibition control, your ability to steer or manage your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Huge part of executive function. This is a long. What are some examples of executive dysfunction? Being very distractible or having trouble focusing on just one thing. Focusing too much on one thing. Those are contradictory. Daydreaming or spacing out when you should be paying attention. Difficulty motivating yourself to start tasks. Struggling to move from one task to another. Getting distracted. Problems with impulse control like snacking when you're trying to manage your diet. Okay. All right. I got it. You just hang on. I want to see if there's an article where people claim it's a problem. Because all I'm getting is psychological entries to journals and whatnot. Let's type in executive dysfunction millennials. Let's focus. Here, Reddit. Well, come on. I clicked on the button. Executive function deficits are just a millennial who doesn't know how to adult. Oh, the BuzzFeed article about not getting errands done because millennials have grown up in a world of burnout and trying to self-optimize, etc. All my friends who have read the article really relate to the problems the author mentioned, specifically the not getting tasks and errands done part. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. No. Look, starvation is the answer to everything. If I don't care how many mental disorders someone claims to have, if they are threatened, their lives are threatened by getting off their ass or dying, they will get off their ass and do it. That's it. You were brought up in a matriarchy where you never suffer the full consequences of your mistakes, and you never brought up to support yourself, because why would you? Government and hubby and daddy and sugar daddies bail you out. You shouldn't have to. Look at the whole premise of, isn't it the whole premise of Democrat leftism, socialism? To a lesser degree, feminism. I don't want to rope women into it because they're not solely all the Democrats and the leftists and the socialists. But the whole idea is that you shouldn't have to work. How does that work in the real world? Where you, like on a physical level, you existing, you require calories to survive. You need to expend X calories to yield 3X calories so that you can live. And this whole, how could you fall for, no, we didn't have these problems 20, 30, 40 years ago. Poor countries don't have these problems because they have to work to survive. It's not a thing. It's just another BS. Let me see the BuzzFeed. Is BuzzFeed still around? Speaking of worthless millennials, I thought they and Vice went belly up. BuzzFeed. We talked to people. These are all, it's all articles from going back in the day. To cope with things like executive dysfunction, objective. Dude, the threat of death. You want to be cured? You want to be cured? Cappy's death camp. How does that sound? We're out in the middle of the desert. I will prevent no cell phones. I drag all these people claiming to have these disorders. Drag them all out in the middle of the desert. No cell phones, no cops, no law, no nothing. Like, the only way out of here is the sandwich in the water 10 miles from here. If you really got that, if you really got your disorder, it's all, you're just at the mercies and the fates of the fates. You'll sit here and just die. I bet out of 100 people, 100 would start hiking. And they might just sit there. But once they realize I took their phones and destroyed them, once they realized no one was coming to save them, how much you want to bet they'd all 100% of them would start marching 10 miles to the nearest sandwich and water? How much you want to bet? And how much you want to bet they're all really good at video games and they can find whatever porn they want on the internet in a nanosecond? They got the executive function to open up a bag of chips and crack open a Mountain Dew. I think that just only dumb people believe in this. Only naive. Oh my God. Oh, the poor homeless person. I need to give him more of my husband's money. My $5 will change him. Now he'll be better, said the white woman with liberal bend. Oh, all right. That one's gone. Let's go through some fan mail here so I could clean up. That's one thing I want to do. Hi, Cappy. Thanks for helping my dad and I with your video content. My mother passed away when I was 15. The following year was the big year for my dad and I, as he made the second most amount of money he'd ever made. I told him I wanted to work with robots and be a pro wrestler. The following week, I signed up for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, and now I am a wrestling scholarship to Full Sail University. Oh, there we go. I knew I would save this for a reason. Happy story, guys. Sadly, in a weird twist of things, my mom's family came after the house, and we ended up selling the house at a loss just to get away from my mom's family. That's a line. That's break out the weapons time. That's hockey mask time for Cappy. They're going to claim my dad was mentally deficient and put me in a boarding school. I'm glad I realized my dad and I never fit in with that side of the family. So the only loss on them that they have two less people they are able to control. A year after my mother passed away, my grandfather pulled my dad aside and threatened to call child protection on my dad if he didn't disclose the amount of money he made that year. My dad mentioned he only disclosed his income to the IRS. And after my grandfather made several threats, we left Thanksgiving dinner early and never returned. Well, there you go. My dad and I just watched the homeless video, and then I don't fit in video from your archive, and it really gave us some ideas to work over the summer. Sounds cool, like you and your old man are working together. You know, like, hey, you remind me of Chris Beckloff. I don't know if you ever listened to Chris Beckloff. Him and his old man lived together. Mom abandoned the family. Of course, your mom unfortunately passed away. But yeah, they kind of became roommates and help each other out. It's kind of nice. We stop trying to fit in with people and are just getting our own projects and goals done, whether it fits the narrative or not. There you go. Also, my dad and I have been going to the gym. My dad is down an inch in waist size since the end of May. Well, thanks a lot. I'm very happy that you had that. Let me respond to you. Let you know this. Read your letter on my podcast titled Dysfunction episode. Best of luck to you and your dad. That's a happy. Braden. So he sent me an email. And I remember doing the research on this. Let me read his first email. Cappy, I have a summer intern on my team who's a Carlson student. He shared with me that they currently require a $26,000 per semester study abroad. And I thought of you. He bypassed it by applying for a competitive program and doing domestic studies course for the requirement. And I said, can I read that without blah, blah, blah. He then further said, the first program I clicked on is actually $36,000. I said, is it mandatory? He says, it's on the website. It's a requirement. My intern said the study abroad is heavily pushed nonstop from freshman year. He fulfilled the requirement while sidestepping the actual study abroad. However, I couldn't find data on their site what percent actually go abroad. And then so it is required that you have this international experience, whether you go abroad or not. And I went on the website to find out, like, okay, do you have to pay for this? I know you have to pay if you go abroad, but let's say you do the alternative where you don't actually go abroad. Like, I don't know, all these universities want to really help out you poor people and minorities, right? All the black guys out there, you want to get a degree in accounting or finance or whatever, because you're sick and tired of being poor. And here comes the good old university. Hey, we so align with you. We so care. But to graduate, you need to pay $30,000 to go abroad. But we care. We really want to help the poor people and the disadvantaged and the minorities. Is this helping minorities or poor people in general? So I want to find out if the Carlson School of Management, which is a horrible business school, it is nothing fancy. It is nothing specially ranked. No one has heard of it outside of Minnesota. No one. So I try to figure out, are they making a requirement? So they, as best as I even called, they didn't pick up, because even charging $40,000 per international experience, apparently they don't have enough money to staff the phones. Anyway, I was going to say, is it required? In typical university, they won't outright say it. 5 website pages you read thoroughly through. Do I need this or not? So best I could figure out is you are supposed to have you're supposed to have this international experience, which, oh, by the way, it doesn't do anything. International business is an on-real degree. International business doesn't help. All right. Learning a language might help. Learning the accounting methods in a foreign country might help, because different countries have different types of accounting standards. Oh my God, I'm going to go to Ibiza and study fish and eat tapas, and I'm going to become a marketing executive. No. Accounting or go home. That's it. So what I figured out is you have to have this international experience. They give you an option to do it domestically, but they really want to make you piss away. I guarantee it's a money-making operation. We're like, hey, if you mandated an international experience in Spain, then they got to come here. Then we mandate they go to you. $36,000. I don't think I paid that much for my 4 years in college. Admittedly, it was in the 90s, but those universities just keeping tuition prices so low for you poor people. We love the minorities and the womans. That's why we're allowing you to attend the Carlson School of Management for $100,000 for a year. We really care about you. No, it's not to enrich us at all. No, you can't put a price on education, even though we just did. I cannot emphasize enough that young people or old people, that you do not go to business school. You get a degree in accounting. That's the only business degree worth it, or management information, so like the IT guy or gal. And you can do that online through Western Governors University for, I think it's $3,600 a year. And you can take as many credits as you would like. And it's accredited. And you don't have to park or have your car stolen on the West Bank of campus, which is where the Carlson School of Management is, because they're like, we love criminal dick. We vote Democrat all the time. Give us more criminals. Well, see, we know it's dangerous, but, we have to vote for more dangerous people because they're Democrats. Okay, but don't worry, ladies. It's all safe. We really care about women at the same time. I don't know what the criminal reports look like. We did a good job back then in the day working security. We kept that campus safe. We really did. Now I don't know. But for God's sake, out of all the business schools, don't go to the Carlson School of Management. Don't go there. How are we doing? All right, so we got that. That one's done. If you are looking to avoid going to the Carlson School of Management or any business school, let me put it this way. If you'd like to make money, would you like to make money? Don't go to the Carlson School, Matt. Don't go to any business school. You will not make money going to that school. You will lose money. It is a negative investment value. Right? You will lose money going to the Carlson School of Management unless you major in accounting. If you don't want to go to school for 4 years and you would like to make a lot of money, may I recommend you become a lineman? Like, well, how do I become a lineman? Well, thank God, Red Pill Thor, he has a Gumroad course. I know you guys have your reputation. Oh, God, Gumroad. Please consider, instead of dropping 30, look, the Carlson School of Management is requiring you to drop at least $26,000. I mean, international experience. Edina Tastes. North Minneapolis budget. I wonder if it's going to help you people, which it's not. They're asking you to spend $26,000. Thor, if I click on it here and just search Red Pill Thor Gumroad, you'll find the thing. This is a course on how to become a lineman, the training you need, where to go, what type of jobs. It is free. How did you make it free? I thought it was like $150. Well, it looks like it's free. Really? I want this. 100% off would be applied to checkout code Rule 0 Thor. Okay, look. It's free now. I don't know. You want to not take it for free? I'd go take this course. It was $89. I guess he's doing it for free. Maybe he wants to advertise it a little bit more. Anyway, so there you go. Take a look at it. Tell him I sent you and go make money. Don't be poor. You want to be rich like Thor. And actually, until his wife got in a tragic accident, they were very wealthy and they were doing very well. But unfortunately, his wife, I've talked about it before, but we don't have time right now. Anonymous writes, more fan mail. Aaron, hope you're doing well. I want to provide an update to my current situation and thank you for all your help. I did end up staying in college and finishing my degree. However, did end up leaving New York. I was able to find a slightly better financial deal closer to home, and the degree was indeed an ABET accredited. It also had cybersecurity track, which is what I was looking for. About a year and a half after writing the email to you, I was able to obtain my first internship in cybersecurity. I did well. In the following year, I received another internship to work for a securities operations center, which then transitioned to a job offer where I am ultimately working today. Fortunately, I'm earning a great salary. That is a great salary. I've started to build some political power in the company. I don't know why you're building political power in a company. No. I'd like to thank you for all your help at the time. That was a critical point in my life where I needed assistance, and you were able to guide me at the right path. It feels great. Being able to reflect on this almost 5 years later and being satisfied with the situation I'm in. Keep doing what you do best, and we'll keep you anonymous. Good. I will also inform you. Read your email on my podcast titled The Executive Dysfunction episode. Best of luck. Good to hear you're doing well. Look at that. I'm already in a better mood now. Already in a better mood. Let's put that in the book. That's a memento one. Goes into the book. Hey, Aaron, not sure if you remember me, but I was the guy who put in the request title, Why Truckers Are Superior to College Graduates. I want to thank you for helping me realize how much of an advantage and opportunity trucking truly is. So once again, thanks for yeah, you were the one that thought like you were nothing because you were a truck driver because all your your high school buddies were graduating from college. And I had to explain to you that truck drivers actually do produce something of value for society where college graduates, most of them just bitch and whine and complain and want a student loan bailout and really don't produce anything of value for society. So I'm glad that worked out. All right, that one's cleaned up. Hey, Aaron, here's a link. This is from, well, I guess I got to assume everyone wants to remain anonymous. Hey, Aaron, here's a link you asked for on the last stream regarding the Repo and Wells Fargo offering incentives to repo companies to prioritize the cars first because of the lack of repo drivers out there. Oh, okay. Let me read this. Let me catch up on the super chat so we don't fall too far behind. Where'd we go? We got a lot more in here. Nick, $2. We combine the worst of two longitudes. Okay, so you got the worst of the east and the west. My truth, $5. I hope it's evident without saying, but it clear that oppressive traditional patriarch societies are attractive and productive, successful citizens. Did see that coming. Well, it has nothing to do with patriarchy. I mean, patriarchy, fine, whatever. If you let people keep the majority of their wealth and their labor, you will attract the productive people, patriarchal or not. If you have a matriarchal society, if we wish to be that simple and black and white and divided into that, generally matriarchs want other people to work and pay for something. They're not against necessarily working, but they want to make it so that there's no problems, there's 100% safety, and that comes at the expense of everything else. They want things to be fair in outcome. They want everything to be 100% safe, neither of which is achievable. And so they enslave the entire productive class, which demoralizes and disincentivizes them from working. And then they wonder why we're eating dirt cookies. And then ironically, you have no safety. You wanted equality and outcome. The working people stop working. You got no electricity. And now you're easily, if you don't have a functional economy, you are very easy to be taken over. And now you're not safe anymore. And now you ladies become a certain type of slave. You become a raisin slave. And if you're old and you have no skills, you are dead. You are just a parasite. You will offer nothing. It will happen. But I'm going to go and relax. Robert, $5. Friends staying over at newly purchased home. Became jealous and started critiquing my hardworking career and making right life choices. Why? Jealousy? He's not your friend. Dude, the stuff that annoys me is really it's still wrong. It's like it still is an affront or an insult or wrong when people do a certain thing and I got to set them straight. But if that ever happened to me, I'd be like, get out of here. You're not my friend. Get out of here. Work harder. Quit being. Why would you want to hang out with an inferior person? That would piss me off. Gary Mercado. Hey, Cappy, have you seen the Disney DEI expose on the WDW Pro channel? No. What's a WDW? I tune in at like Critical Drinker, Neurotic, and all that. My biggest revenue generation in the last 5 years has been ESG solutions in the tech sector. You have to monetize these. So, oh yeah, no, Gary, if I don't know if it's because you're Latino or you have some other expertise in ESG. For my team, yeah, guys, I've said it before. If you're Hispanic, Latino, whatever, lesbian, go make the money. Get the money. Get the money, but then get out because I'm sure, as you know, and you're if I remember, Gary, you're 1099 superior race. Like you get the money, you get out, and you're self-employed, and you go live your own life. But you don't get caught up in it. Like you're not stuck at these corporate board meetings like at Disney. Like, oh my God, like no, I am at my computer desk in my comfy house, and you email me what you want, and I do the work. And I send you back the report or whatever it is. Yeah, but if you can, Gary, if you can do the ESG, absolutely, you go make all. That's the latest buzzword and the thing and the fancy and the stuff. You get the look, Gary. Here's the thing: remove Mercado, remove the politics. At least I'm going to assume traditional, leaning, conservative, libertarian type of guy is getting money from leftists. I don't care if they're all white. I don't, honest to God, if you are getting money from idiots in corporate America who are leftists, who believe in ESG or DEI, whatever the hell it is, they are leftists. Our team gets more of their money. Let's do it. Disney's going to spend another $250 million on some stupid woke trash, or they're going to lose $150 million at the end of the day. Bipsy from Edina is going to major in women's studies and cripple herself financially. See, but you get the added benefit. You're making money. You're like the professor getting the money from Bipsy. You take that money, Gary, and you run. You take all the money and run. You know what you should do, Gary? With a little bit of, you should get I don't know, something. Get one nice thing. I'm not saying it's got to be super expensive, but get a nice thing. Like, did you ever want to, like, maybe a nice painting? Just to remind you, like, yeah, it was paid for by leftist people. That leftist people's money went to buy that nice thing. Isn't that nice? That's a nice, it makes it even nicer that it was paid for by stupid leftists. Christoph Anand, $5. Just put up a sign with simple written instructions for getting out of the desert camp. Only rescue those who could follow instructions. Here's what I would do. I would take the person or the people. I would paint a line around in the desert. Guarantee, I would even put an arrow we could do the instructions saying it's that we could put signs. All of them would leave the circle. All of them. And I would say, once you leave the circle, you're cured of your mental disorder because you know what you have to do. You're not crippled by the you're not crippled by the executive dysfunction. You're a lazy, worthless fucking human being. That's what you are, and you know it, and you're faking it. The fact you walked out of the circle means you don't have your dysfunction, because otherwise you'd just be sitting there, playing with the sand or the rocks or petting the rattlesnakes. I don't know. I guarantee you every single one will walk out of that circle. Like, oh, you are capable. Techie, $2 cap. You ever looked into Starlink stable internet? Maybe. Yeah. Like I said before, a friend of mine has it. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $5. Did the South Dakota contractors take their time to fix your area internet connection? Love their work ethic, that's for sure. Rivaled by Wyomingites. No, the contractors who built the house aren't responsible for internet. There's a couple contractors that do this wireless. It's like cell phones, except it's internet. And the day's coming. I guess we'll have 5G one of these days, and I'm just going to switch to that and be done with it. But for now, this is the best I got. But it wasn't the contractors that did that. Setting up internet's too intelligent for them. My truth, $5. Not trying to paint it so red pill, but patriarchal leads to bend towards hierarchies, and hierarchies lend to merit and contribution-based compensations and authority. True. But then the Womans aren't happy. Oh, nosies. Gary Mercado, $5. Get the money, get into cloud tech, travel, get jacked and tan. These supposed disadvantages are the ultimate advantage. Right. Here's, let me paint this for all my minority or otherwise disadvantaged groups of listeners. How long do you think this is going to go on? Like, if there's a collapse coming, there's a collapse coming for all. Like, if the electricity goes out, it doesn't just go out for the white people, right? It doesn't just go out for men. And so while you got this gold mine, while you have this gravy train coming in, bank your money, go buy some property, pull a better bachelor, pull a joker, if that's what your dream is. But I would say, like, hey, while this money is coming in, I really ought to get some land somewhere with some water. Or maybe, let's say you're from a different immigrant group or whatever. What about going back to the home country? Does a home country like what you can afford? Does it look all right? If I understand, it's not all countries, but usually you can't make as much as you can in the United States. You make your killing here in the United States. What can you buy with 100 grand in Guatemala? You go back to Guatemala, you buy, don't tell too many people you got the money, but you buy yourself a nice, stable, fine home. You get whatever you want, and then you're back with family and friends and culture. I I'm just trying to, because it would, the dollar won't, the day is coming. Might not be our lifetimes, but the day is coming. The dollar's not going to be the world reserve currency. It's going to hyperinflate. It is. The day is going to come that there's some things in play that could make it within our lifetimes. Do you want to make the money now, convert it into hard, tangible assets, and then, oh, hey, I know the United States had better employment than Suriname, but I made my money, and I wonder, immigrants come here, like, okay, you got the economic opportunity, but you got to be look at the Americans, like the natives, and be like, these people are fucked. They're fat, they're mentally ill, they're spoiled, they're truly despicable people. Their culture is shit. Like, I don't like it here. Like, you make your money and like, I kind of want to go back to wherever the hell it is I came from. And yeah, we don't have big screen TVs, but at least my mom makes some food and we have dinner every once in a while. And our women aren't fat and claiming that they're beautiful. All right. Let's go to this thing here. You know how long it's been since I did a podcast? From cartitles.com, Wells Fargo auto lenders offering $500 to repo companies amid shortage of drivers. Get back here. Let's clear that out. I'm going to close this out. If you're a borrower on a defaulted automotive loan, meaning you're behind on monthly payments, be aware that lenders are starting to ramp up the recovery tactics to recoup their funds. As an example, towards the end of 2022, Wells Fargo Automotive began offering incentives to repo companies to prioritize the repossession of their vehicles. Why did you people lend the money? Why? Wells Fargo? Why? Why did you lend the money to the guy with a 520 credit score? Why? According to the article from Auto Finance News, Wells Fargo is offering $500 per vehicle to repo companies amid a shortage of drivers and other personnel. Frankly, there aren't enough repo agencies available to cover their vehicles, so banks are putting bounties out to have their vehicles repoed first. So if you have a vehicle with a loan in default, be aware of this, but also consider that you may be in a good position to negotiate the remaining costs with your lender. Normally, I'm not on the side. I'm not on the side of these of the thieves. Frankly, I'm not on the side of the thieves. But I'm not on Wells Fargo's side or these idiot bankers that got to get lending volume. Oh my God, we got to lower our. Oh my God, they didn't pay us back. So I'm kind of like, well, so now I'm like, well, what could you do to hide from the repo man? Like, what could you do? Are there ways you could change where you can have, inevitably hiding the car from the repo man becomes a pain in the ass. Like you can't function in life constantly hiding from someone. So inevitably, I just say, yeah, either pay your bills or whatever. But if they are dumb enough, so they repossess, you don't have to pay it back, right? There's bad blood, you don't have to pay Wells Fargo. I'm sure it's on your credit score, but what do you care? Like, how many months of free lease automobile can you get? Really, how long can you stretch it? And then all you girls, you think, oh, he's got a nice car. Like, yeah, it's repoed. But also consider that you might be in good position to negotiate the remaining costs with your lender. Your lender doesn't actually want your car. They just want the money. Oftentimes under similar No, I want Wells Fargo and all the other banks to have to manage all these assets. I want to go into your other real estate or other assets owned portfolio and category. I want Wells Fargo to waste billions of dollars trying to liquidate and sell all these assets you foolishly lent upon. dude, bro, you just couldn't make it in banking, bro. What? Lend money to people, never paying back, and then you ultimately become a babysitter? Oftentimes, under similar circumstances, lenders are more than willing to renegotiate the amount for a lien release rather than be at risk of never recovering that vehicle. Even if a vehicle is repoed, there are many costs involved. First, the $500 incentive, then the transportation fees and auction fees, which can add up to several $1,000s, not to mention paying the guy that's got to go get it. So what happens? Like, oh, the repo man is coming. What if you damage the car? How much you want to bet the people that are like, oh man, you're going to repo my car? They just start beating the crap out of the car. Now you got a crappy car that's got to get repaired. Because that's your car, bro. Amount for a lien release rather than be a risk. Even if a vehicle, So in lieu of that hassle, lenders often see the value in negotiating rather than paying thousands of dollars to repo a vehicle in unknown condition or unknown location. You should all drive it south of the border and leave it there. Sell it to Jose. I'm sure Mexico has some kind of way to make sure that doesn't happen, but it would be great if you could drive it to Mexico. Sell it for, can I get that house over there? Okay. And Wells Fargo's got to go to a foreign country to get it. Even if a vehicle is repoed, scrolling down. Oh, that's it. That's it. Okay. Oh, that one is done. Rob writes, Aaron, I know a single mom where the father died when their son was still an infant. Now the boy is 10 and she never got another man, even though she's attractive. Okay, I can kind of see that. She takes her son on expensive vacations to exotic places, and I realize she's using him as her proxy ideal boyfriend. Oh, yeah. That'll happen. I told her to take him to an MMA gym and pay a bicycle repair guy to teach him how to fix bicycles and get him a math tutor. She does none of these things. I got a question, buddy. What responsibility is this of yours? I know you want to help. Look, I know you all want to do good. I know. And you may, like normal, healthy human beings, like, oh, they're kids. The kids are innocent. I understand that, but they're not salvageable. They're not savable. You know how many kids I got to look at? They're even kind of within my, personal sphere of social family and all. Do you know how many kids I got to look at? Oh, I know one kid completely. This poor girl and her one on the way. The kids are screwed. They're just screwed. There's nothing I could do about it. And someone long ago, not me, pointed out, like, okay, you're going to worry about that. What about all these poor kids in Africa? What about people war-torn Ukraine? Are you going to worry about bad things happen to innocent people a lot of times, which are unfairly kids? And I'm pretty self-centered. I don't know. Was someone going to help me? Was somebody? I love her. You're very self-centered. I'm like, I'm sorry. Was anyone charitable towards me? Where was the help? Was anyone going to help me out? Oh, so everyone else was self-centered or certainly not focused on me in a charitable way. So I have to be self-centered to survive. So fuck you and go play on the train tracks. Why are you so angry? Go back to Minnetonka. So yeah, this kid screwed up. He's 10. I mean, you kind of take him under your wing. It's not your kid. I don't mean like that's not your kid. I mean, but you don't have an obligation. And how much time do you possibly spend with this kid versus what the mom does? Some kids are just fucked for the rest of they are. You kind of see it, like how many millennials were brought up under somewhat similar circumstances who are now well into their mid-30s. They can't adult, they can't function, or they choose not to. Either way, there's no difference. At the end of the day, you're not working, you're poor, you're miserable and demanding a bailout. You're gonna say they're not, nothing's gonna happen, man. Unless you were there a lot and the woman who is ultimately the final arbiter of how the child will be raised agrees with you, and she's not agreeing with you. And look, I need clients in the future. I can't have you guys going in there trying to straighten out young boys and young girls so they have a successful life in the future. I need young boys brought up by their dysfunctional, broken, single mothers. I need them broken and confused. I need girls, to not know, to major in the right thing. So stop getting in the way of my business. Let these people suffer. Let the children suffer. That's what single mommyhood's all about. Single moms trap their sons in their low effort lifestyle, thinking that it's safe, but low effort boyhood leads to either video game man babies or motorcycle riding risk takers or opiate addicts. I don't know where results of motorcycle riding. That'd be cool. A high effort boyhood is truly safer. Yes, it is. There's not as much need to compensate. An MMA fighter who could take the integral of a function and dunk a basketball doesn't have much else to prove. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong, buddy. I'm just doing this for you. Look, I did it once. I tried to help out one kid once. And at the end of the day, the kid chose the wrong decision. I'm like, what the hell is all that effort for? What really? Really? And here's another variable. What if the kid don't want it? There's a kid here. I know it's a kid, but it's a human being, a human brain. There's a 50-50 chance. Okay, even if the mom is on board, he's going to reject what you guys recommend anyway. Honest to God, man, the world can burn. I don't give a shit about the future. I don't. Yes, I love my nieces. Yeah, I care about my nephews. I'd like them to do, but I don't control it. And once 13 hits, yeah, okay, Uncle Aaron was the greatest thing ever. Well, now they have hormones. Now he's so more likely just drop off the face of the planet. And I'll do my best, so I don't have any regret. But you did your best. Okay, here's this book or whatever else, however else you want to help this kid out. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But if this kid's going to be saved at all, usually the only thing that's going to save them is if they're boys is going to be their sex drive. They're going to search, how do I get the girls? And then they end up in the red pill. Not because of any foresight or wisdom you try to teach them at 10, but because they're horny. That's how they come here. That's the main road they come in on. For once in a while, they might come in on an obscure road into this little town, might even come over the mountain on that old patchy dirt road. Most of them come in on that highway. I had a low effort boyhood, but I rebelled and I speak a second language, math and electrical engineering and functional fitness, dance, fighting condition, and growing vegetables. There you go. See, but you're rare. I hate to say that, but you are exceptional. You made a choice early on. My mom believed that her low effort lifestyle was good enough for her kids. Many such cases, I suspect. Yep. You're right. All right. Hang on, I'm going to write this now. Dysfunction. So the laptop I'm running this off of is just this horribly designed laptop. It's horrible. Delete that. Not enough black CPAs. Mike sent me this article. I'm going to save that for me and Chad. By the way, I had this thought ruminating in my head. For those of you who are entrepreneurially minded, there is a market that I could capitalize on it, but I don't have the time. I got my own thing going on, and I kind of got my shtick. For those of you out there, I think there is a lot of money to be made on the white guy brand. I think we have kind of passed a tipping point or a peak or crossed a line where everyone knows universally, at least in the United States, that this country unfairly hates and blames white men or whites and men, but certainly white men, that they understand, they get it. So that if you were to kind of make fun and lampoon the whole idea of, the white male brand, like, oh no, not a white male. I think everyone understands it. That if you came out and said, yeah, white male certified or certified white male, and you're selling coffee or something like that, there's money to be made on it. And we do have a guy who kind of did that with whiteguywebdesign.com. And so, if you're looking for a website, may I recommend whiteguywebdesign.com. White guy, certified white guy. He's a certified white guy. And the sad, tragic thing is what's funny, but sad and tragic at the same time is there's this implication. It's like, well, it's a white guy, so it's probably done right, which is not a guarantee. Let me tell you, spending time in Wyoming and South Dakota. But to kind of throw it back in the face of the left and the truly man-hating, white-hating, and certainly white male-hating left, the true bigots. Yeah, why not white guy web design? You need a web design? You need go whiteguywebdesign.com. There you go. Tell them Cappy sent you. But you could do it. White guy coffee, white guy something, or just, certified the seal of approval white guy. I have in my past, I have known like sometimes the sisters and the Latinos like, oh, I want myself a white man. Like they want that white man. I was like, okay. So we do carry a little cachet, and that bears out in the online dating data, right? Remember, guys, I'm sure a lot of you are minorities. Like there's a white guy advantage that mathematically shows up. So there is this underlying politically incorrect understanding. Oh yeah, white guy. Just a little hotter on that dating app. But in the face of these white male hating Democrats, go fuck them. Just right back in their face. Well, I'm a white guy. Yeah, of course. Well, certainly. Well, we crossed extra T's and dot extra I's. The Asians do that better than we do, but we don't mention that because we're not a minority of the population that can be celebrated by the Marxist Party. So White Guy Web Design, if you'd like to check him out, tell him Cappy sent you. All right. Oh, by the way, more joy. I get to have my first colonoscopy next week. Huh? So much freaking fun. Gotta go get some. I gotta pick up so many drugs just in preparation for this. I gotta prepare a week in advance. The instructions they gave me were 3 pages long. I'm like, oh my God. And then I looked up, like, do these actually prevent colon cancer? Like, yeah, it's like a 50% decrease. I'm like, all right. Holy cow. Wow. I think a lot of people paid. A lot of this. Remember how you said ASO Consulting was going to slowing down? Well, not now. That has changed in the past hour. I sent out 4 quotes, and now I got 4 payments in. What is this? Climate protest? No, that's not what I want to click on. This comes from an accountant, a lady accountant, a lady. This is from the Washington Post. Colleges remade as tech majors surge and humanities dwindle. About frickin' time. 2 trends in higher education nationwide are colliding at the University of Maryland. Booming enrollment in computer science and plummeting student demand for the humanities. Premvanti Patel experienced both firsthand. The 23-year-old senior from Sierra Vista, Arizona. Wait, did I? Oh, yeah, I already talked about this one. We already talked about this, so that's good. All right, I could delete that now. And then we got the Telegraph. Look up this guy. Raul Kremler, something like that. You can look him up. Climate protester left with block of tarmac stuck to his hand is jailed. So remember over in Europe, a bunch of degenerate, worthless, predominantly white people, I might add, by the way. If you're wondering who protest, you can look at the pictures. I call it as it is. I don't, here's an agenda. A bunch of self-loathing white Europeans decided to glue their hands to roads and then the tarmacs of some airports because they weren't annoying enough. Climate protester left with a block of tarmac stuck to his hand is jailed. The former German soap opera star is believed to have been arrested at street blockades at least 100 times. You look at him, he's got his hand holding up and it's encased in tarmac. It looks like it's been melted, but it's just encased within black road. Oh, they want me to pay for this. No, I won't be paying for it. Anyway, so he used a special type of I'll give you the short version. I'll be brief. Oh, here we go. He, along with some other people, he used not only a concrete, but he mixed sand in it for some reason. The guy's mentally ill. You just look at him. He's just someone no girl wants to fuck. And, they couldn't use solvent on it, so they had to jackhammer the road. So this guy was a reasonably popular actor in Germany, I guess. And now he's spending his days gluing his hands to if not kidding. Do you want that life? Do you wanna be these people? I don't ever wanna have a day that's so bad where I decide the best use of my time is to glue my hand to a road where the German authorities or any authorities have to come in and jackhammer underneath. And you know what? In fairness, this should get the title of Dave Chappelle sitting on the toilet there reading white people looking confused. That is exactly this meme. Because you look at that like, what the hell? This is a different level of stupid and self-indulgent and got too much money and too much wasting time that you decide you're going to glue your hand to a road. And I know what King Cappy would do. I know exactly what King Cappy would do. I think they all have a death wish. I really think they're such miserable in their life. They like hoping somebody comes in with the truck and wipes them out. But no one ever does, and they get to wake up and do it. Oh, am I going to do to fight whatever it is they're fighting? Climate change, the patriarchy, capitalism, whatever. I don't know. Like me and the kid that was hanging out, like I could go hiking all the time. We went to like 3 different swimming holes. Uh, Going to get cigars. Um, just enjoying life. Like, don't you want to? When do you take a break? When do you decide, no, I'm not gonna I've glued my hand to enough Tarmacs today. I think I'm gonna just read a good book. Y'all may not like what's her name, Greta Thunberg, but could you imagine what her day-to-day life is like? Constant hate, constant fighting, there's some cloud of smoke, you can never strike a it never ends. She's fighting the fog. What'd you do, Greta? Isn't Greta How old is Greta Thunberg? I mean, how old is she? Oh, she's 20 years old? That's how old she is? I thought she was pushing 30 because maybe she started how old was she when she started? Was she like a 14-year-old child? Yeah, years acted. She started when she was 15. Dude, when I'll never trade in playing D&D and playing baseball and riding my bike. I'll never trade that in. Never. What'd she do? She just whine and complain. It's like, hey, look, can you at least wait till you get married before you do that? Just wait till you get married. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy your childhood. Enjoy your young adulthood. Go get laid. Although with a face like that. All right. So that one we can delete. I'm not kidding. Another thing pissing me off while we're yelling at clouds. Do you know how many emails I've gotten about the colonoscopy and preparing for it? You can log into our portal. Sign in. No. I show up, you shove the thing up my ass, and then I leave, just like Vince and TJ, but it's romantic and sexual for them. Right? No. I don't want to join the colonoscopy family. No, I don't want updates. I want this to be done and over as quickly as possible so I can get back to my normal life. I think we're caught up. We're caught up. I got a lot of videos to do, a lot of consulting. Never mind. Remember that time I said ASCO Consulting was slowing down? Those were good times. Thought I'd have some time off. All right, let's finish these off. No, techie, $2. You ever looked into stock? Oh, we've already done these. Let me scroll down. Nick Crocodilis, $2. Great Britain to your country, no longer hate speech, but advice. GB to your country? What's GB? Go B2. GB2? You are country? You lost me. Drew, $2. How the hell were subprime car loans? How the hell were subprime car loans legal? They could go. Oh, hang on. The banks can lend out money to whoever they want. Banks can. They could do that. It's not what look. If the bank lends out and loses the money, we shouldn't bail out the banks again. But we're going to bail out Wells Fargo again. Again, if Cappy was, I'm not kidding. I would just, I do it fun. Let me tell you how I would want to hunt down the bankers that caused the financial crisis. And after an investigation, I'd make it very simple. I'm like, these bankers, you know how like we had the 52 deck of cards during the, what was it called? Iraq War, the Iraq War. I'd say you could turn yourself in, but when you turn yourself in, we're taking all your assets, liquidate. God damn it, internet. What in God's fucking name? God, Jesus. Aaron, why are you angry? I'd say you're turning yourself in and you will have life, but we're taking all your assets, liquidating it, and we're recapitalizing the taxpayer. If that didn't happen, then I'd be like, okay, there's bounties on these bankers, dead or alive. And we're going to confiscate their assets anyway. And I'd let people just like regular old civilians, like, oh, you see that guy? Bring him in, dead or alive. And then I wonder if there would ever be a financial crisis again where bankers lent to people who wouldn't pay back because they get their commission and their checks. But they're legal because, I guess they were never made illegal. Our future MD won $5. Wait, so people can't afford a $750 average car payment and a 10-year-old car shouldn't cost $25,000? Who would have thought? I know. Oh, the amount, it's always been this way. The amount of people out there that are actually wealthy is a fraction of what you think it is because of all the borrowed lease cars. But it is even higher now, given the number of people that just lease and borrow. Even your phones are essentially leased. You're on a payment plan. Public nuisance, $2. What's your opinion on company picnics and parties? They're boring and I avoid them. I mean, it's been years, but I mean, okay, let's say it's Friday and it's a nice day out and they decide, we're gonna fire up the grill outside. Okay, that's fine. I don't know. And if you want to go to a company party, okay, but generally, no. Don't drink while you're at them. Get the free food and go. If they want to have a speech and someone sits you down and it's more work, nope, leave. But if it's going to be fun and they're going to, okay, then maybe you want to go, but it's not up to you. It's not mandatory. Drew, $2. Really wealthy people I know don't want attention. You nailed it, Drew. Absolutely, you nailed it. The real rich people, you wouldn't know them. And I don't know how many times I got to tell girls that. Like, you wouldn't be able to identify a rich person. I'm just going to leave this off. Just leaving it off. The internet keeps calling down. You girls wouldn't be able to identify a rich person if he was standing right next to you. And there have been rich men who have stood right next to you. There have been. I know several rich people. And they stand, and girls wouldn't give them the time of day. But I'm exhausted trying to explain to girls, how to find a good guy, let alone a rich one. Drew, $2. What's the dumbest thing you've seen in banking? We lent money to a guy that had a credit score in the 300s, which I didn't think was possible. That was, I think, the dumbest thing I've seen in banking. I've seen a lot of dumb things, but I think that was the dumbest thing I ever saw. My truth, $5. Check this business plan. We 1 to 3K cash buy. Yep. To be repoed cars, yet to be repoed cars. Patino transports them down to Mexico. We sell them for 10 to 25K. Still a bargain to the Mexican says, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Alex speaks Spanish. But we'll get Atham in on this. I absolutely. We 1 to 3 cash buy yet to be repoed cars. But yeah, we can't buy the cars or the title. See, what we would be doing is we'd be bribing the person who's got the car to give it to us, right? Because it's technically not his car. And then we take these stolen vehicles down to Mexico. It would be a criminal endeavor is what you're recommending, no matter how we do it. But I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it. Drew, $2. Lots of Uber drivers driving Teslas makes no sense. Yeah, those are really expensive. I'm not against an electric car because obviously I have solar panels, but I looked at it. I'm like, no, gas is way cheaper. My truth, $2. That was a joke. That's serious about the business. No, I know. We wouldn't be doing that. Public nuisance, $2. Friend got piercings and tats, now pulling in chicks. Really? Okay. It's different for guys. I'll admit that. For women, it's not. If you get yourself tatted up and pierced, you might attract a certain type of guy. Generally not a good one. But for guys, yeah. Girls like dumb things. Drew, $5. Instead of making extra payments on my mortgage, I'm letting inflation eat away at a 2.12. Are you ex-military? Did you get that through the VA? That is an outstanding loan. Putting that money into better investments. Smart man, Drew. Smart man. Yeah, my mortgage, it's like 2.8. Not paying a damn thing on it. I made the extra principal payments early, and now I'm done. I accelerated the amortization. Now I'm done. Our future MD, 10 generous dollars. But Cappy, if I erase T-Rash's or Pookie's kids, I get the I'm the dad that stepped up t-shirt. Who wants disposable income and quiet in their home? I am never, ever going to raise another man's child. Never. And that shit, dude, they think that's going to work. Have you seen the guys that wear that shirt? The truly, you're being raised by two moms. You didn't introduce a father figure into that household. There's two women raising that kid. And I hope Pookie and T-Rashes and Ray Ray's kids just beat the ever-living hell out of the dad. Not physically, emotionally, and psychologically. The new dad. The dad that stepped up. I hope you guys suffer so much pain. But pussy! Drew, $5 again. As someone that worked in LE corrections, law enforcement corrections, the common denominator with inmates I dealt with was the vast majority came from single mom households. Yeah, isn't it like, it's a shockingly, I know it's 70% at minimum, but isn't it like 90%? As much as it pisses off the women of America and the West in general, and certainly the Democrat Party, your boy Obama was proof of kids need their dads. They need their dads. And you can't just have a dad. The dad has to participate. Once again, you may disagree with me. You may not like President Obama. I believe Mr. Obama invested time in his daughters. Biden did not. Biden was a freaking playboy, worthless. He didn't invest a second into his kids. He was too busy running for politics and office. And it shows with Hunter being a drug addict. Unfortunately, I believe Biden's other son died of brain cancer. Obviously not caused by absentee fathering. But you're going to create the barbarians that are going to ruin this country by not having fathers. And guess what's going to happen? Fathers are going to make a huge comeback. Fathers and the fatherless children are the ashes in which the patriarchal phoenix will rise again. And it's going to be one motherfucking phoenix that comes out of these ashes. Westberger, 69, $2. Gave my son worthless, switch major to accounting. Awesome. Awesome. Right there. Good for him. You will not have a whiny millennial zoomer. Do you even use words now? Is it just sounds, those kids? Because like they're just using words violates their executive dysfunction. Oop. Clem joke, 10 generous dollars. Word to the wise, once you start the industrial strength laxative, stay close to a toilet and don't wear anything that takes more than 5 seconds to remove. Voice of experience. Yeah, that's... yeah. Maybe colon cancer is worth it. All right. Michael, $5. Cappy, you could make bank if you were willing to live stream the humiliation. I mean, colonoscopy. No, I don't. No. There's no one's going to tune into that. No one. Look, you find a way like, hey, Clarey, we need you to do some zany thing like Mr. Bean, Mr. What? Mr. Smack. Who's the guy who's the most famous podcaster? Whoa! Shocking face for thumbnail. I hired an assassin to assassinate. Whoa! I know he knows that he's making money. I get it, but even I can't go down to that level. Drew, $2. I have 2 paid off vehicles with cheap insurance. There you go. Drew again. Have you ever thought about starting Repo business? No. Look, I'm wondering. Because when I was in banking, some people wouldn't pay back their loans. And they say, hey, Clarey, can you go and have a talk with Jessup, who's 10 months behind on his trailer payment? Not a joke. And I'm looking at him like, why don't we just repossess it? Well, you got to beat him a little bit, but then he'll pay him. Like you said, he's 10 months behind. And so I would love to play the bad guy. I would love to go and repossess vehicles and cars and assets, wear armor and go in. But you also need the backing of the banks. Now, Wells Fargo going in like, hey, go repossess. But I guarantee you there's going to be some spineless wonder dick fuck, either of the male or female persuasion. Well, wait a minute. Maybe we can renegotiate a deal. Don't send me into a dangerous situation with guns and armor to go repossess some guy's car then if you're just going to renegotiate. If you're going to be a modern day pussy American, which we have been for the past 50 years, don't send in the bad cop. All right? Just play good cop, and then wonder why everyone keeps fucking you over. Don't actually have it come down to brass tacks where now we got to send somebody in. Where I go in, I go get the car and like, well, he said he was sorry. He said he was sorry. Can you go and return it? Now that I've been out, I've become more of a feral animal. Dude, I can't promise I wouldn't commit violence against someone in a banking environment again. Like if I went back into banking and certain situations were to repeat themselves, I don't know if I could guarantee the safety of some executives. I just go over there with one of them large staplers. Whack! Shut up! Or just be really just dry and droll and acerbic and, oh, I'd like to change how math works there, Mr. Vice President, but, he still has a debt service coverage ratio that's negative. Yeah, I'll do that as long as I can bang your wife. She's kind of hot. Bring her over and I'll go do the pointless thing you want me to do as long as I can bang your wife. Well, as long as we're asking for ridiculous things, I thought I'd join. Isn't that what we're doing here? I'd bang Mikey's wife, wouldn't you? Yeah, she ain't getting banged by him. So he's not smiling. So no, I would not go into the repo business. Drew again for $2, 15.2. Well, yeah, VA wouldn't finance. Yeah, but you still got a hell of a deal, Drew. Hell of a deal. Michael, 20 Czech dollars, Czechoslovakian, I think. And Michael again for 50 Czech dollars. I have a 4.6 mortgage in Europe, and I want to pay it off in 3 years at 38. To be debt-free is just priceless. Well, God, that's an aggressive payoff. I hope you do. Michael. And it is great to be debt-free. I didn't think there'd be anything better than debt-free until I got a mortgage in the 2s and inflation is at 7. I'm being paid to have this. I feel good about that. I feel really good about that. I think that's it. That's it, guys. Did I catch up with everything? Let me make sure. National Geographic closed. They're just a website now. National Geographic, like pretty much all the mainstream media, is over and done. That's done. Close out. By the way, my phone is not working. Close out. Thank you. That's it. All right. Link below are links to my books, links to my courses on Teachable, including The Dad You Never Had. It's for all of you who didn't have a father, or your father was some spineless, putsy American fuck, which most of them are. The minimalism course, I might open that. That hasn't been open in a while. I might open that as well. But there's also Achieving Financial Excellence, which is the first step for you to achieve financial life, for your financial planning. Please take that course to initiate you and give you an incentive to follow through on financial planning. There's also my Amazon affiliate link. So if you have any shopping to do online, please go there. And then, link to my Subscribestar account, where back in the days where I could start doing hikes, I would also record the road trip podcast while hiking, and you have access to all the archives of the road trip podcast and the pinups of the girls who were kind enough to provide pinups 10 years ago when girls used to do that type of thing. Not rated R, not rated X, just tasteful PG-13 when girls would just like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, please do. Oh, no, we can't do that. Men might be incentivized and happy. We don't want men to be happy. No, that's bad. If I put on a bikini, holy shit, what are you thinking, perv? Well, we need to increase the population and our children birth rates going down. So you can subscribe there. That's $2 a month. That's my elite, classy, high-end membership group. I've had that for years. I just don't really promote it all that much. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's an elite group. Do I get anything? No, not really. Just get access to it. That's all. All right. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.